everybody. Welcome to the Section 325 podcast.
The second half.
The
All
second
right.
half. Whoa.
What?
The NFL season. Let's just go right to the statements. I can't wait to talk about the statements. Let's just one word. Injuries.
Yeah, injuries. Nasty looking ones too.
What's going on?
I was talking with someone the other day too. Let's go back with Deshaun Watson. He had Achilles rupture. Nasty looking injury. I mean, you can see the replay.
Can you believe that
just
people
snapped
actually cheered for his injury?
I know.
That's
just Browns fans for you, though, because they're frustrated. I mean, it's hard to be a Browns fan.
Speaking of, though, I would trade just about anybody to get Myles Garrett. If he's up on the trading block, wow, yeah. What a guy. You'd be a stud to have.
But no, going back with the injuries with the Achilles, in the last 2 years, year and a half, we've been seeing Cousins with the one, Rodgers at the beginning of last year, now Watson with the Achilles.
I wonder what is going on.
I don't know if it's just the game has gotten quicker as far as the action on the field. You have to make quicker decisions. And again, like he was just kind of, I think he was falling to the ground, and then he tried to accelerate. He lifted up.
He tried to plant and go. I think it was a designed run.
Yeah.
He dropped back, planted, and as soon as he planted, he went to take off and pop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the injuries. I did see an interview by with Marshawn Lynch, and he was talking about when he came out of retirement to come back and play for the Seahawks. And he said in one game, he goes, these guys, they're bigger and stronger already, even from when he played, which isn't that long ago.
Few years, yeah.
He said and this is beast mode, right?
Yeah.
He said some guy hit him so hard, his body went numb. So, I don't know, maybe they're just, they're not practicing him as hard either.
No, I mean...
So, maybe the fact that they're not practicing as hard, and then they're expected to go out and play this game.
Full speed
with the biggest, strongest athletes, fastest, strongest, biggest athletes in the world.
Yeah.
And they're not, I don't think they're properly... Something's happened. There's a disconnect. You didn't see this kinds of injuries.
Well, and it makes me wonder too. You hear about all these holdouts, and at the beginning of the season, players not showing up to camp, or maybe they are having their own private workouts or whatever. But maybe that's kind of part of it too, where they're not being in a full atmosphere of other players or teammates. Practicing amongst each other to get the full experience what a game should be like. If people are holding out and just having their private workouts, like that's not giving you the full game day experience. Reminds me the time when when Russell Wilson was with the Seahawks, he was doing these private warm-ups, pretending like he was running the entire offense just by himself.
Yeah.
And that's what maybe players are doing, holding out and doing their own private workouts at home or whatever.
Yeah, it was, I don't even remember why he was injured, why he was out, and he was still running through the offense, because I remember it was in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Pittsburgh, yeah.
And he was going through all this. Gino was playing. I don't know if he hurt his leg or his knee or whatever.
I remember he had a hand injury, right?
Oh, maybe it was.
I think he had a hand
Maybe
injury.
It was his hand injury, yeah. So, yeah, a lot of these guys like to post all this stuff. And, I was like, you haven't seen much of Russell. He hasn't started. And then just the other day, he plays the game. Played well. I was excited. Yeah. I was cheering for him. And immediately puts on a video with rap music playing. And, I'm just like, dude, can you just let that all go? Just focus in on how you used to be focused, and that was about your getting better, the team, and now it's just always been about him. And I'm like, that's where the disconnect happened with him. He made it about him instead of the game, right?
I mean, immediately when he went to Denver, he made it just about him.
No, you just can't. You cannot do that, because I'm telling you, there's 3 phases to this game, and there's 11 men out there on the field each time. That's 33. Okay, there's 33 guys. Some of them play both.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe special teams and defense or whatever the case. But he, you need all those people. You're
Yeah,
just
oh,
a
yeah,
piece to the
absolutely.
puzzle. Yes, you're one of the top 32 quarterbacks in the world, right? But man, you just got to stay humble in that game, or it's going to eat you up.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't. I think he's just after seeing that video. I think he's just changed. I think it's going to hurt
Well,
him.
and we mentioned this before. He's changed, even years before he went to Denver. I think ever since he signed that first big contract with Seattle and got together with Sierra, I think that might have been a big
Sierra ruined
change.
us. We would have had
Yeah.
3 Super Bowls if it wasn't for her. But thanks a lot, Sierra. But anyway, the moral of the story is he did play really
He
well.
played well. He
That's
struggled at first,
he
just
did
like maybe any rookie quarterback or someone
well.
going into a new team.
Look at how all the new quarterbacks struggled at the beginning of this year. Aaron Rodgers
Yeah.
struggled. Kirk Cousins struggled. I'm sure there's some other ones I'm not thinking of right now, but a lot of even Bo Nix, right? He's a rookie, but
Rookie
struggled. Now he's
struggled.
playing better, and a lot of these quarterbacks were struggling. So um, it was his first game back.
And
Everything's
again,
moving faster.
going back to a full game where it's 100% laid back on practicing. You're finally into the momentum of things, and yeah, so
But I
he
will tell
struggled at
you,
first, but he picked it up by second quarter.
you cannot fake the reaction of his fellow teammates on the sideline. The running back and the wide receiver who caught his first touchdown. We're in week 7, and he finally caught his first touchdown, or week 6, whatever it is. First touchdown, and Russell Wilson had to be the quarterback. And they're saying because he puts more arc on the ball, it gives the opportunity to the receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Where Fields just threw more of a flat ball, and but Fields knows he can run, right? So back of his mind, Russell knows he's got escapability. He can't really run anymore, but he's a good quarterback. We saw for years in Seattle, and now that he's got another opportunity here with the Steelers, I think he's going to continue to play good, which was my
It
prediction
was your prediction, yeah.
that Steelers were going to win that division. They're tied for first right now with the Ravens, who look incredible right now with
That's my
King
pick.
Henry.
Yeah.
And who's slow as AF right now because he got caught, is what he said, right? But that guy had the angle of pursuit on him. So, no matter how fast he was, that guy was trucking too across the field at the perfect angle
Well,
of
and
that.
the way he runs too, it looks like he's just like he's jogging in stride.
Well, he's huge.
I know he's your size, but
Yes.
he has muscle.
Whoa, take it easy. I got plenty of muscle, everybody. I don't.
uh,
But yeah, he's still a young man, and but anyway, Baltimore looks really good. But I think the Steelers are going to be. I mean, their defense, right? Their
mm-hmm.
defense is incredible. With
And that's why they're 5-2 now, is mostly because of their defense.
that's exactly why they're
Yeah.
5-2.
I
But
mean,
Russell,
give credit to Fields that got him to 4-2, and now Russell the extra win. But give him credit to that him.
hey, here's another
But
stat.
here,
One more stat. They scored the most points that they've scored since 2021 in a game.
oh,
So Russell Wilson.
yeah. Well, Jets kind of their offense just crumbled in the second half.
Well,
So
nobody's ever going to remember that. They'll just remember the points.
yeah,
Russell's first game, 37 points put on the board.
yeah. So I mean, they had 31 unanswered points.
31.
Yeah, because I think
I
Jets were up 15-6.
I turned the game on when it was 15-6.
Oh, really?
And I was like,
Oh, maybe
oh no.
you're the reason.
Maybe Russell. I was like, oh no,
They were
Russell, only
just waiting
6
for you to
points.
watch.
And then when I
Yeah,
turned it on, they started throwing deep balls, and they got a pass interference. He didn't catch the ball. He should have had it. They got a pass interference call, got him to move it, and then Russell just was throwing little dimes, and that's when he threw his first touchdown to
yeah.
who's there? Why did you say
Pickens.
Pickens?
Yep.
Yeah, that guy's good.
George Pickens.
That guy's
Yep.
really good.
He is good. Inconsistent in fantasy. Fantasy owners will tell you that.
Well, look who his quarterback was, Fields.
He'll put up numbers every other week.
Yeah, he's. I like that he goes up with the ball with his hands. And speaking of hands, DK Metcalf had a huge game. As a Seahawk fan, I was ready to be like, okay, we're not good. Let's go back to the drawing board. we got to rebuild with this new coach. And then wham, we go into Atlanta and beat the division leading Atlanta Falcons with Kirk Cousins and BJ Robinson, who runs like a freaking man child.
Yeah.
And anyway, DK, we threw a 35, 40-yard laser beam by um, uh, uh, Eugene. He throws one right down the pipe, and DK, instead of letting it come to his body, bam, caught it with his hands, pulled it. Beautiful play.
Yeah.
He went up with another play with his hands, and I was like, somebody must have talked to him. Somebody had to talk to him because he was not using his hands.
Yeah.
And here's per example. I was telling my little 3-year-old buddy. Okay, I don't know if he understood what I was saying, but the Sunday night game, Aaron Rodgers dropped back and he threw a pass to number 5. Who's
Wilson.
Wilson.
Garrett Wilson.
What does Garrett Wilson do? He throws it in between two defenders.
Yep.
Garrett Wilson let it come into his body, bounce off his chest,
interception.
Momentum keeps going for the Steelers. Receivers, and I've been seeing it all over the league. Who's teaching these guys how to catch? You don't let it come in your body.
No, it's the first thing you learn.
You were a receiver in high school.
The first thing I learned was to obviously make the triangle, catch it with your hands. There's probably only one time that you would let the ball come to your body, and it's when it's like caught right in your midsection.
Sure, if it's low, you have to.
Yeah,
you almost have to.
It's like right here, you have to use your body because you can't go like that. But no, other than that, you go up and get the ball. That's what I always was taught.
Yeah. So anyway, DK, I was impressed with that game. I hope he can carry it over. He's got the grade 1 MCL strain, so hopefully he's all right. But
yeah, because I was going to say injuries is the word of the day, and it seems like he'll be back.
Well, I wanted to wear my Geno jersey today, but I didn't have time to go get it. But then I thought, well, maybe I should wear my DK jersey because I know I was going to talk about him. But I still don't know what team we are. But all I know is we're in first place. The Niners lost. And they got to play the Cowboys, who I don't think the Cowboys want to get embarrassed again.
Yeah, well, I don't know if the Niners want to get embarrassed again.
Well, they're decimated, dude, with injuries.
They are.
I mean, one guy's in the hospital with pneumonia. Another guy's got a hamstring, and then the Ayuk's out. He's done. His knee, it crumbled.
Yeah, I feel sorry. I won't say his name, but in one of my leagues, I won't say what league because people will know, but. Yeah, he has a list of injuries on his starting lineup pretty much, and he is 0-7 in fantasy.
Who is it? I
won't tell you. I won't tell you on screen. How's that?
It's not Thurston, is it?
Thurston, he says that he would have been 0-7, but whatever.
Oh, it's not Kurt.
Dude, I'm not going to say.
It's Kurt. God. I'm sorry, Kurt. Remember when you took Chubb from me? I made a mistake, and you took him and wouldn't give him back. I'm telling you, this is redemption, Kurt.
You're not even playing.
Yeah, I know. That's why I don't play. I'm so
it's
devastated. Oh, it's not.
No, it's not. So
anyway, Kurt, I hope it's you. Just kidding, buddy.
It is.
Oh, Kurt, you should have never taken Chubb from me. Oh, anyway, it was a simple mistake, and he took advantage. But
I mean, fantasy will do that to you.
Hey, I can't stand fantasy, and that's why. You could put together a really good team, and you can get edged out by 1 point.
Yep.
And it could affect your whole season.
I know somehow I won in all 4 of my leagues, and one of them I was surprised I won because who I was playing against had. I think everyone was played up to that point on Sunday night. I don't think no one had any Monday night players, but he had the Jets, and I was down. No, I was up maybe like a point or two. But he had the Jets, who got him -5 points.
Well,
so I ended up winning.
There's just some teams. I was thinking about it the other day. Is the Jets, the Browns? They come to mind. They just can't get out of their own way. Like, what is it that they can't become a winning franchise?
Yeah.
And I feel really bad for the Browns, especially. Not the Jets so much. They've been in the same spot, same or whatever. But
Browns now, like, they, again, lost another quarterback.
The fans, right?
And the fans, they're going to show it to you.
Think about the fans. Their team was taken away from them.
Yeah.
They moved to Baltimore. Baltimore has won 2 Super Bowls since they left Cleveland. And now they have this team that just keeps on winning every year, and they've struggled in the playoffs with Lamar. But man, is this the year? I don't know. But how sad is that you had a team that go back to when they had the lead against Denver, right? They had a chance to go to the Super Bowl,
Oh yeah,
and
back in the '80s.
Elway, the drive, right? He
Yep.
does the
He
drive.
does the drive, and then the next
Byers
following year,
fumbled for Cleveland.
yeah, and the next year it was the fumble.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so you have all these things, and then the team leaves, gone. They go to 2 Super Bowls. And
they
now,
have Belichick at one point.
yeah,
Actually, when I think that was the last time
they did.
before they won a few years ago with Baker. But that was the last time they won a playoff game was when Belichick in the '90s.
And then you get this new franchise, right? And they haven't done anything
No.
since they've been in the league. Last year, we were like, oh, the Browns. And I know a couple guys that are Browns fans that were born in Cleveland, and they told me they cheer for first downs. So that's pretty funny, but sad, really. So really, I don't get it. But I would be curious to know if there's any Browns fans that when their team left, did you follow the Ravens? Did you
Do you think
follow
the Ravens should be the Baltimore Browns?
Baltimore Browns? Or no, I just want to know if you followed that team over.
Yeah.
And you've won 2 Super Bowls because you gave up on the Cleveland franchise because it wasn't there, but that was your team,
Well,
and you.
I know, and the question is, yeah, it's the team that moved there, and then they changed names, so it looks like a completely different team, but it's not because just like when the Rams moved from St. Louis to LA, they're still the Rams. They just didn't change names.
Mhm.
So again, yeah, Baltimore, like, are they really
Yeah.
the Browns? Like,
Well,
but not
St. Louis
really.
Cardinals moved to Arizona.
Hmm.
The Kansas City Chiefs used to be in Dallas. They were way back. Houston Oilers are now the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, and they changed names.
Hmm.
So yeah,
And then, of course, when they left Houston, Tennessee went to a Super Bowl with McNair and what was that big running back they had?
Eddie George.
Eddie George, dude. He
Yeah,
was good. I liked Eddie George.
I like Game Day 2000. That
It,
was my running back on the PlayStation.
it was funny. They were talking about King Henry last night with the Manning brothers,
Hmm.
and they had the safety from Baltimore.
Ed Reed. Yeah,
Ed Reed was
he was
on there,
on. Yep.
and they were like, "Oh, how would you do trying to tackle, King Henry?" And he's like, "Oh, I did. When we played you guys, you had that Jacobs guy."
Oh yeah.
And they showed a video of him coming to try and tackle Jacobs, and he went up high and he went flying off of him. And Jacobs, I forgot how big that dude was. Dude, that guy was a
Yeah,
big running back.
he was.
I remember Christian Okoye too back in the day.
I mean, even just the bus. Bus always comes. Joan Bettis.
Yeah,
He
but he
always comes to
wasn't
me.
quite as
He
tall.
wasn't tall. He was just big.
He was
Like,
wide.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, well, let's get into the show, man. We spent a lot of time. What was your statement?
Well, it's next. You already said
Oh,
your
I
statement.
just went into it.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
I
just
said
went into it.
injuries. I just
Oh,
said
injuries.
let's
Okay.
injuries.
Well, my
Injuries.
statement. So your statement is injuries. My statement is going back to just tackling on defense. Like, just so there's one play, Patrick Mahomes. He had like this long
Oh,
30, 40-yard run up down the sideline.
I know what you're talking
Yep.
about.
And defenders, I've seen it all around, not just with Patrick Mahomes, people with Josh Allen or any other quarterback. Defenders are afraid to lay up on these quarterbacks, especially when they're getting near the sideline, because they don't want that personal foul. So they kind of let up, but secretly, the running back or the quarterback just speeds up the sideline because they think
They're
or they
faking.
know that you are going to let off, thinking that
Well,
they are going to go out of bounds, but they just go up the sideline
you bring
20
up a
more
great
yards.
point. Do you remember that college player? He was like running and he went to fake a slide. He
Yeah, Josh
faked,
Allen does that too.
okay, faked a slide, and then he ended up running for the winning touchdown.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, if a quarterback's going to the sideline, as soon as he gets close to the sideline, call him out because
Well,
they're
and that's what I'm saying. I want those defenders. I'm like, yeah, that quarterback is heading towards the sideline. Maybe he's starting to slow down. So that makes you want to slow down. No, just lay into him. If you get that personal foul, 15-yard penalty, whatever, it's better than him just
and
running up the field 15 more yards.
are people afraid to hit Mahomes? Because I remember last year you guys had a
We
defender
had a defender
who
that
just
just
whiffed on him like He could have hit him and he didn't.
Yeah. So that's kind of my boiling point right now. It's just hit the tackler. I don't know. I've just seen it so many times, and it's
Well, Thurston brought that up. We were on a phone call today, and he just said, football's not what it used to be. He said if Patrick Mahomes was playing back when I used to watch football when I was younger, he goes, he'd be out 3 to 4 weeks. He'd be knocked out.
no,
He
yeah,
would have got hammered
absolutely,
on that sideline.
yeah,
And that's why they keep running and doing all that stuff because it's Mahomes and they want him in the
and
league.
yeah,
And
they want him in
they're
the league. They
told other
want to
teams, don't
protect
hit
him,
him.
and
Don't hit him. He's our moneymaker. It'd be like,
yeah. Well, and here's my point: is if defenders are starting to do that a lot more, then these quarterbacks are going to probably stop doing that and actually slide to give themselves up
mhm.
or step out of bounds a yard or two before.
I honestly think that if a quarterback wants to run, he should be considered a running back.
Mm-hmm.
And you should be able to hit him as hard as you want. If he
Yep.
slides, okay. But that's the thing, right? They could hold up assuming he's going to slide.
So, or assuming he's going out of
So they
bounds in
need to
this
just
case.
change that. If you're a running back,
Yeah.
yeah. And the slide, I don't know that that's the best thing, but because they get hit in the head when they slide and the guy's coming in.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Anyway, that's
Either way, that's probably why we have
I
injuries
my
because they're going soft on these guys in
yep.
practices and and
So
and
I'm
they're
putting it out there right now. You defenders, just make a tackle. Who cares if they're going out of bounds or not? Just make the tackle, and if you get fined or penalized,
yeah.
maybe it'll just show the running back or the quarterback here in this case. Maybe they need to slide or
Yeah.
go out of bounds a yard or two
If you get
beforehand.
fined,
So
Travis will cover your fine. Just hit
no,
that guy, get the 15-yard penalty. Who cares?
I can't cover 18,000.
Yeah, it's 1750, man. All right, week 7 pick results. Here we
Yeah.
go. Are you feeling confident?
Oh yeah. Actually, I almost won my office pool.
I don't know how the Chargers lose this game. I'm super disappointed.
Again, I
So
told you Cardinals are kind of like a little tricksy up and down
they
type of
are up
team.
and down.
Yeah,
But I know
you
you
never
took the
know.
Falcons because probably
Yeah,
most people did.
I think a lot of did.
Yeah. And then I took the Steelers. I'm pretty happy about that.
Hmm.
You took the Vikings, I
No,
believe.
I took the Lions.
You did.
Yeah, I was thinking that they would make the
Great pick.
upset, and they did.
Great pick. Packers, obviously, yes. Beat the Texans. Bills, yeah. Nobody's going to pick the Titans over the Bills.
Yeah.
Ravens, I knew they would beat the Bucks. I didn't think the Bucks showed us enough. And Rams took care of the Raiders. A little disappointed with this pick.
I know you are.
Oh man,
Because you were disappointed the week before when you picked the Broncos when they lost the
yeah.
Chargers. So
Here we are. You beat me 2 weeks in a row. We're tied.
we are tied.
We are tied. Coming down. I mean, gosh, that's pretty incredible. I had a
Yeah.
good lead on you. How many games?
I think you were up 5 games at one point.
Wow, I really slipped up. I've been
Because
going
I had a
3-2.
really bad first week. I think I was like 1-4.
I think the first couple weeks you struggled a bit.
Because obviously I was in the negative for a while.
Wow. So here we are, both in
Yeah.
the green. So speaking of Seahawks, all right, power ranks.
Yeah,
We're kind of settling in a little more,
a little bit. Yeah,
a little
I
more.
think
Now we've got injuries, so
only one team dropped out, so one new team came in.
yeah. So excited to see what you've got with the 49ers and the Falcons and Tampa Bay now with their.
None of them are in the top 10.
Okay.
So that will answer your question.
Eagles. Eagles are quietly putting together a decent season. Yeah. They're not being flashy. In fact, nobody's talking about it. I just thought about this the other day. I'm like, man, the last few years, all we hear about is the tush push and the whole Eagles team. And now they're not talking about them.
I mean, the tush push is still happening. I think it was just more. I think now that other teams are starting to do it now, and have been. So it's just kind of. It is what it is now.
Well, Eagles slide in there. They move up, obviously. Steelers, Russell Wilson, Steelers. I don't think he's. Did you see what Coach Tomlin said when they said, "Hey, about
and
you?"
It was funny too because I heard that Tomlin was going to use both. Like they were going to use Fields in some plays. He never came in.
Well, Fields was on the sideline with his paint on his face, ready to go.
Yeah. So.
But the reporter asked him after the game, and he goes, "That's why they pay me all this money." And he walked off. I was like, "That's pretty awesome." So Steelers are up. Texans,
They drop.
tough loss.
Tough loss.
They're
I
good
mean,
though.
tough loss to the Packers, who are now in my top 5, I believe.
Yeah, I don't care what the
So,
Packers' record is. You go into Lambeau, it's going to be a tough
yeah.
game. And they played really well. Just
I mean,
couldn't
it
pull
came
it out.
down to a field goal. So, maybe they don't have the Packers up in 5.
So Packers moving up to 7. That's top set. I mean,
yeah, they were 10 last
they're
week.
definitely
So.
a top 10 team. Commanders,
You
number
know,
6.
Daniels goes out first quarter, and they still put up 30-some points.
Mariota put a 40 burger on the.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Or 40 points, whatever the score
Is it
was.
one of those things like the Niners? You just doesn't matter who plays quarterback. You just go in. It's about the system.
Yeah.
Ravens 5 with the Ravens.
Yeah.
Golly. Okay. All right.
Well, I couldn't put them below the Commanders. They beat the Commanders week before.
Well,
So.
no. I mean, I thought they would have been higher.
Higher. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bills,
remember they had a couple losses that put them down low. So
they had a slower start. They gave up a lead to, was it the Raiders?
They lost to the Raiders,
Yeah.
and so that really hurt them.
How did
it was
the Raiders
the Raiders
beat them? Okay, the Bills, they're moving on up. Oh, Vikings.
Yeah,
First loss of the year, but gosh.
Yeah. They're still top 3. Like
they had it. They had the lead at the end of the game.
Yeah.
They let Goff. Goff missed 3 passes the whole game. The guy is playing
missed like 5 passes.
He's on a mission.
Games.
I'm telling you, when you see stuff like that, look for the Lions. They could be in this next year's Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Vikings go down.
Well, we both have the Lions winning it.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the season, we
you would predict it, right? But now that you see like the execution from their quarterback, he's on a mission. He's focused. It is incredible. The Lions definitely deserve that number 2 spot. And then, of course, the only undefeated team.
Yeah, I had to put them at 1.
Yeah, I mean,
I was kind of going back and forth. Do I put the Lions up there because they beat the Vikings? But again, Chiefs going into Niners, who was supposed to be a good team, and they still kind of put them to the turf on that one. So they're still holding strong in their games.
Yeah, I watched the game against the Niners, and the Chiefs' offense isn't like explosive or anything, but they do some really cool plays. But the defense.
It's defense.
Defense.
What it is.
Here's what I noticed. I watch the Seahawks play the 49ers twice a year, okay? We play the 49ers like we're scared, like we already know we're going to lose. You can just tell. The 49ers play the Chiefs just like the Seahawks play the 49ers. They knew they weren't going to win that game. They were playing scared. You could tell.
Yeah.
And it was just, I don't know what that's all about. And I hope the Seahawks get over it. I hope the 49ers don't. But, yeah, that's a great top 10. And those are your top 10 teams. I think anybody would agree with that by the records alone, who they beat. Yeah, I don't think anybody's missing out of there that doesn't deserve to be there.
No, I think all those teams there have at least 2 losses, or no more than 2 losses.
Nobody from the NFC South or AFC South,
because they're all 4-3.
Yeah,
or whatever.
All right, let's get to the picks.
Yeah.
Let's bring out the lush bag.
Everyone is playing this week. There are no buys, so we have 16 games to choose from.
Wow.
Or we're not going to choose. We're going to pick them, but we'll pick 10 of the 16.
Right out of the gate, we have the G-Men going into Pittsburgh to take on Russell Wilson and the Steelers. You know who I'm taking in this one? I'm taking Russell Wilson and the Steelers. Yeah, I think it's not even going to be close.
Yeah, easy pick. All right, Chicago and the Commanders. Actually, is Daniels going to be playing? Because this was supposed to be the hyped up game with number 1 pick over with the number 2 pick. So, but with that, it doesn't matter who's at quarterback for the Commanders. I'm going to go with the Commanders. They showed it how they can be a full team, even with a backup, Marcus Mariota. And
absolutely.
Yeah, so Commanders in that game.
Yeah, good pick. All right, I got the Eagles sneaking into the top 10, Wolves top 10, But I feel like the Bengals, they're at must-win games. They're putting up points. The Eagles are not putting up that many points. I think the Bengals maybe figured out some stuff defensively, especially last week. Um, I would take the Bengals at home over the Eagles.
Ooh, I got the Chargers and the
Oh, I
Saints.
think they're at the Chargers.
They are they are at the Chargers. There you go. You're right. So Saints at Chargers. Um,
Both teams are
yeah,
not that impressive. I know they beat your Broncos, and I was thinking, how'd they beat the Broncos and then struggle to
struggled
not
again.
even score a touchdown against Cardinals?
Yeah, but I think with the Saints, they have some injuries on their side of the field. Hopefully, this longer rest, because since they played Thursday, that they can get a better game plan going against the Chargers. But I think Chargers were surprised that they lost to the Arizona Cardinals, and I think they will rebound. So I picked the Chargers.
Sure. We were sent a letter from the Saints in a text message. They're having tryouts.
Yeah,
They're looking for players because they have so many injuries.
injuries. Yeah, just show up to tryouts and see if you can make the team.
Uh-oh, I know what game this is. Oh
Yeah,
no.
oh no, you have to.
Buffalo going into my Seahawks. The Bills are so good. The Bills are so good. I want to believe that Seattle's not going to lose another home game. You know what? I'm going to take my Seahawks. I'm going to take them. I'm going to believe in them at home, coming off a nice win against Atlanta. Of course, we can beat the Bills.
Okay, I have Cowboys going to San Fran,
You know,
and this is the Sunday night game.
you look at that game start of the year, you're like,
Well,
oh, that's going to
I
be a
think, and that's
good game.
probably why they had it on a Sunday night game.
Sure.
But now it's just like, what is going on in Dallas? Niners are all beat up and sick. It's I believe and this is look me back on stats, but I believe the Cowboys' rush defense is not very good. The Niners still have Mason. I know he was injured a couple weeks ago, came out of the game, but he played fine this last week against Chiefs. But because of that, I'm going to pick the Niners because the Niners will run over the Cowboys' defense.
Wow. Okay.
That's my pick.
All right. The Chiefs or the refs, whatever you want to call them. How about the chefs? Going into the just completely decimated Raiders. They don't have a quarterback, apparently. The original starters back in there, so maybe a week under the first team, they could
Well,
play a little better.
they did pick up Desmond Ritter.
Desmond Ritter.
Yeah, today.
He's got to be
Uh,
the backup, right?
yeah, I think he'll be the backup. I don't. I would assume Minshew would play because O'Connell is out with thumb injury, broken thumb, and I think Minshew will at least get the start.
Here's what I do know. I believe that the Raiders will play a good game, divisional game. Typically, they do play the
Yeah,
Chiefs pretty tough.
and when they had Carr, they were winning against the Chiefs every year. They would go 1-1 with the
Yeah.
Chiefs. I felt like.
But I just, until someone can knock the Chiefs off, I'm going to take them. So I'm going to take the Kansas City Chiefs over the Raiders.
Ooh, the Packers going into Duval County and playing the Jaguars. And Jaguars had a nice win in London. They came
Yeah,
back.
their coach is still there.
And the coach is still there because they had a nice win, but they won't win at home with Packers. So I pick
Nah.
Packers. Packers, I mean, reason why they're in my top 10. They're just playing well.
Ooh, here we go. The Vikings coming off their first loss going into LA. Did LA figure some things out? Or did they just beat a really bad team?
I don't know.
Hard to say, but I'm going to take the Vikings over the Rams. I'm going to take the Vikings over the Rams.
A lot to say. All right, last pick. All right, I got the Falcons coming off a sad loss against the Seahawks, going in playing against the Buccaneers, who lost Evans and Godwin. Yeah. Godwin for the year. Evans will be out for a few weeks.
Garbage time, dude.
Yeah, I know. Time. That's what sucks too. They were even saying, why were they even throwing? I mean, yeah, they were down 2 scores. They could have scored and got a onside kick again, but at that point, they.
Well, Baltimore's been known to give up leads, so maybe they thought.
But yeah, Godwin out for the year. Evans out for a few weeks with the hamstring. Cousins, he can still throw the ball. He'll have 300 yards passing. So, with that, with a divisional game, and the reason why I have the Falcons to win the division, that's who I'm going with, Falcons.
Yeah, big game for both teams, so I think that's probably the right pick.
Yeah.
All right, well, there you go. There's our picks. Yeah. Let us know
10
yours.
Games right here. Let us know. Please play along.
I'm hoping to go undefeated because I need to take the lead again over Travis.
I hope to go undefeated so I can at least get a lead. I mean, we're tied right now, so this is going to be the make it or break it week, maybe.
Or maybe we both go undefeated, or I win them all, you lose. But there we go.
I don't know. Anyways, get your picks in because seriously, we will give you a gift card to McDonald's or Starbucks and play along. The picks are up. See if you can do better than us. And yeah, that is it.
Yeah. And don't forget,
you did not pick the Broncos.
No, I didn't have to pick the Broncos.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
They disappoint me every week. I pick them to win, they lose. I pick them to lose, they win. So I don't ever want them to come across my desk again.
Unless you pick them to lose, and then I'll be happy.
Yeah, right, because they win. Yeah, they win. So, yeah. Oh, and then same. You picked the Falcons to beat my Seahawks, and they killed them.
Yep.
34-14.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. Anyway, that's our show for today.
Next week, I have something for us. Starting next week, we will discuss different divisions in the league. We will start with the AFC and NFC East teams.
Okay.
Maybe just discuss how they are at mid-season form. Go over their games, who they play, and just kind of break it down for the next.
Who's got a chance to take the division or not, and see where it aligns with our picks.
Yeah, we'll just talk division talk next week. I think that would be good, and then do that for the next 4 weeks. And
yeah, so next week will be our last show before the election. So we got everybody get out there and vote because
it makes a difference.
It does. Get out there and vote.
It does.
Yeah. So
we'll probably be voted before we film on Tuesdays. So
we will. We'll have one on the election.
Yeah, we'll have one on the election. So
I wonder if we should move that date, maybe to Monday.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes 15 minutes to vote.
It does, but I plan on taking the whole day off. I'm gonna make it a celebration.
Okay. Maybe
out with the old, in with the new.
Maybe film, then you go vote.
Maybe. We'll talk about it. We won't talk about it on the air anymore. Anyway, that's our show. We don't know when we're gonna have the show round on the voting day, November 5th, but here we are.
But we will still have a show.
We will. Section 325 signing out.
The second half.